Go! Go!
Have you seen Pavlena anywhere, Henry? Where is that girl's daughter? It's not usual for her to be gone so long.
Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena, remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
But what if her disappearance is connected with it? Tell me about it, good wife.
Well, we haven't always lived here in the rocks, you know. We're from Troskovitz originally.
Right. And how come you left?
Left? They threw us out. A childbirth went awry, and we were driven away by all the lies told about us.
Went awry? What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm sure the good folk of Troskovitz will be only too keen to tell you.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl, and pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young, and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there. Take care, my friend. You silly doggy. I hope the ponds don't overflow. have a kind master, eh, Doggy?
That mint needed a lower flame. Pavlena, what have you left for me? Like she got up and went straight out. She's got unfinished work here. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? clothes. If she planned to run away, she'd have taken them with her. I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
She didn't pack up her stuff. I don't think she was planning to be gone for long.
I told you, didn't I? Pavlena wouldn't run off.
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskovitz?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. But she took them to the market in Troskovitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her.
Thank you once again for saving Sir Hans's life, and mine. I promised I'd pay you back, and I keep my word. So please accept this token of gratitude on behalf of me and Sir Hans.
Thank you, Henry. You're an honourable man who doesn't make promises lightly. I'll put it aside for Pavlena, but don't waste any more time on me, and go and look for Pavlena. I'm very worried about her. Take care now.
What'll it be?
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
I don't know, no, Pavlena. Sorry. I hope you find her soon. Farewell.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men, and that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you. I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of Bozhena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets and other items.
Aye, I know her.
Do you know if she's been here in the last few days, Master Bailiff? I'm a bit worried about her.
I haven't seen her myself, but you can ask around the village. Try the houses along the road to Zhelyov. She'd have to pass that way.
Do you think anyone here would want to hurt Pavlena?
Troskovitz is a decent village. You'd better watch your mouth.
Has Pavlena got any friends here? Acquaintances?
There's Roman, who brings us wood.
Roman? Who's he?
A woodcutter like his father. May he rest in peace. He lives just off the green. His hair is red like embers. You can't miss him.
And Pavlena's on friendly terms with him?
You could put it like that. Roman's pa wouldn't be too happy about his son being with an outsider like her. But all he can do now is look down and weep. Not that Roman ain't a decent lad. Honest and hard-working. It wouldn't surprise me if Pavlena left her ma to be with him.
Well, I don't think that's likely. Pavlena left all her things at home.
Still and all. You could go and ask Roman if he's seen her or not.
What can you tell me about Pavlena?
She used to live here with her mother, but then we drove them out. She's not the kind of girl you'd notice much, but she knows how to take care of herself. I let her come round here because, well, maybe I've gotten soft in my old age. But I reckon children shouldn't have to pay for their parents' sins. Don't you think?
Why did you drive them out of Troskovitz? What happened?
Pavlena was our midwife. It ain't the cleanest trade, but it's needed. Women all over the domain used to call for her help with births. Only, as it turned out, bad help is worse than no help at all. I won't go digging up old grievances, but believe me, we had cause enough to drive that old witch out of here.
Ave Maria.
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of the herb-woman from Zhelyov. Do you know her?
Aye, I do. Pavlena still comes here from time to time, selling baskets, ointments and whatnot. I ain't seen her around in a while, though. Why are you looking for her?
She hasn't been home for a long time, so Pavlena sent me to look for her. When she left, she was heading here.
If I was you, I'd go and ask at the rat house. Or Jezek the cooper. That old goat had his eye on her one time. Only she wouldn't have him if he was the last man alive. Can't say I blame her. That Jezek's a drunken sot.
What's this Jezek like? And what do you mean about him having his eye on Pavlena?
He wanted to get married, and no sensible girl around here would have a drunkard like him, so he figured Pavlena might be an easier bet. He promised her a home in the village, but the girl wasn't so dumb as to fall for it. He's hardly got 2 groschen to rub together, and his house ain't no palace neither. All she'd have out of it is a heartache, and a bunch of brats as pig ugly as their old man.
And where might I find this Jezek?
If he ain't boozing here at the tavern, he'll be on the way here or at home.
Thanks. Do you think anyone would want to harm Pavlena?
Bozena's not too popular here since that misfortune with Yakesh's wife, Ludmilla. But no one holds a grudge against Pavlena. She was only a young lass at the time.
What was that about a misfortune with Ludmilla?
That was way back. She was the midwife here. She'd give the women herbs and whatnot when they called for her. But then something happened when she was helping out at Yakesh's. His wife, Ludmilla, died, and a child was stillborn. A tragedy it was, and then Bozena, she left.
Just like that?
Well, to tell the truth, we drove her out.
Oh? Why was that?
Better ask Yakesh if you want to know more. He's often by his son's grave. It's next to the farm.
And do you think this Jezek might have done something to her? Like abduct her because she scorned him?
Nah, he ain't got it in him. He's all mouth, but he'd never raise his hand to a woman. And even if he did, Pavlena would probably give him a hiding. Just recently he got a black eye from this skinny fella here. He's a weakling and a wretch. He wouldn't have a chance with Pavlena.
What do you have for sale?
Sometimes.
Feel free. You're no longer in mortal danger.
I'm looking for Pavlena from Zhelyov, Goodman. Have you seen her?
Pavlena? Pavlena. The name rings a bell, but I can't say I know her. Does she ever go dancing in the tavern? I'd ask at the tavern if I was you. I'll be with you.
Good afternoon.
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
I don't know no Pavlena. Sorry. I hope you find her soon. Take care then.
Careful.
God bless you.
I'm looking for Pavlena from Zhelyov. A young girl, pretty, weaves baskets. Have you seen her?
Old Bozena's daughter
Aye, that's her.
comes here selling baskets,
Yes,
ointments and all kinds of remedies.
yes, that's the one.
I ain't seen her. Try the rat house. Thrush, the bailiff, knows what goes on.
I'm looking for this girl from Zhelyov. Pavlena, her name is. Do you know anything about her?
If it's a wench you're after, try the bathhouse.
No, I mean a particular girl. Pavlena.
Picky, are you? Sorry, but I don't know no Pavlena.
Good afternoon.
Have you seen a young girl here? Her name is Pavlena. She wears a headscarf and sells baskets.
No, I don't know nothing about her. Sorry. Care, friend.
I need some help. I'm looking for Pavlena, a girl from Zhelyov. She comes here to Troskovitz selling baskets and ointments, and she didn't come back from her last rounds. Do you know anything about her?
Oh, I know the girl you mean. I've seen her with that woodcutter lad. Roman, I think. Try asking Dushko. He knows all the woodcutters. He lives along the way from the rat house to the butcher's. We meet again.
I'm sorry.
You shouldn't be bothering us here.
You.
Good evening. What do you need?
I'm looking for a young girl who's gone missing. Her name is Pavlena, and she sells baskets here sometimes. Do you know anything about her?
You think something happened to her?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, you should ask Thrush, the bailiff. I mean, he might know something. Good day to you. Greetings to you too.
God bless you.
I'm trying to find Pavlena, Bozena, the herbwoman's daughter. Do you know her?
Aye, I do. She's mixed up with them local woodcutters.
Mixed up? How?
How should I know? She's nothing but a hussy who gets them all worked up. You should ask Dushko, their foreman. Young Romans miss work often enough on account of her. They both live on the way to the butcher's. See you later, my friend.
I'm searching for Pavlena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets. Do you know anything about her?
That herbwoman Bozena's daughter. I don't know nothing about her, and I don't want to know. They ain't welcome here.
Greetings. What do you want?
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
I think I remember her. I bought baskets from her once, and they were very finely made. But that was some time ago. See you later, my friend.
Good day to you.
Have you seen a young girl here? Her name is Pavlena. She wears a headscarf and sells baskets.
Young Pavlena. A lovely girl she is. Brings us herbs from the forest sometimes. Try asking the woodcutters here in the village. She's been spending a lot of time with Roman. Young sweethearts. I'm happy for them. God be with you, and have a pleasant evening.
Do you know anything about Pavlena from Zhelyov? A young girl. She comes here selling ointments, baskets and stuff. She's gone missing, and I'm trying to find her.
Aha, you mean that girl who hangs around with young Roman from the woodcutters? Better to ask him. I don't know her much. Auf Wiedersehen. That's it. Go now.
Monster. It happens. Just watch where you're going next time. Good day. What would you like?
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
Young girls don't stop for a chat with me. And why should they? I'm an old crone all alone in the world. Take care then, and have a pleasant evening.
Good day to you! Good thing you're here. I was just about to close.
I'm looking for Pavlena, the basket seller. Do you know anything about her?
I don't know who you're on about. I'm a butcher. If it's baskets you're after, try somewhere else. I don't know nothing about no baskets. Roman!
Greetings to you.
Who are you praying for?
For my son, Yaroslav.
When did your son die?
Well, Yaroslav would have been 5 years old now.
How come he's buried there and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth and was never christened, so he couldn't be buried in the cemetery.
God have mercy. I'm sorry about that.
Aye, me too. If it hadn't been for that treacherous old hag, he wouldn't be here under a tree. He'd be in the churchyard, as he ought to be. The poor, innocent soul. Or standing right here next to me.
Old hag? Who are you talking about?
The midwife, Bozhena. My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhena is an unclean woman and a witch. Only this time, something went wrong. Of course I wasn't there, being a God-abiding man. I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa! Send for Bozhena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
So you still blame her for it?
Why shouldn't I? I haven't told you the half of it yet. I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So I'm sure you understand what I did after. That same evening, I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
Listen, Bozhena's daughter has gone missing, and I get the feeling from what you're saying that you're not exactly unhappy about it. So I'll ask you straight up. Do you know anything about it? Do you want to hurt Pavlena to pay Bozhena back for the death of your son?
I understand why you might think that, but I would never do anything like that. Don't tell nobody, but since Ludmilla died, I go weak at the knees if I only see blood. It's like I'm standing next to her bed, again, like that time. I never want to see a corpse again in my life. Besides, if I wanted to get my own back on Bozhena, I'd never take it out on her daughter. The girl's not to blame for anything. She was only little when it happened. I curse that old hag often enough. When I've had a drink or two, I wish the worst on her, so she'd know how I feel. But as God is my witness, I'd never stoop to murder on account of it.
I'd like to ask you more about your son, Yaroslav, if that's all right with you.
Ask away.
What about your other children?
One of my daughters got married and moved out. Marushka and Olina are still here. Once they get married, I'll be left all alone on the farm.
Why? One of them could live on the farm with her husband, couldn't she? Lots of fellows would give the right arm for a place like this.
Aye, true enough. Only a father should pass his livelihood on to his son, goddammit! Don't tell me it's different where you come from.
Well, I only got to know my father recently. He's the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Well, you do look like a man with blue blood. That I can't deny.
Well, thanks, but actually I'm a bastard. My ma was a commoner, so she couldn't marry Sir Radzig. Fortunately, his loyal subject Martin took her in and raised me like his own.
Out of duty?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. But however it started, they became close, and later, when they died, Sir Radzig took charge of me. So actually, I have two fathers.
God's will. There are times I wish I'd died before Yaroslav. I'd have saved myself all the misery since then. And all that's still to come.
I don't have any more questions. Thanks.
It was good to see you, my friend. Amen.